Welcome back to Katawa Shoujo. What other mischievous actions can Emmy impose upon us today? Emmy has kindly deigned to give me weekends off from our runnings. I don't actually know if I woke up at all yesterday or if I just slept through the entire day. My legs groan in protest as I lever myself out of bed. All this running is really taking it out of me. Still, I can't deny that Emmy wasn't lying to me. It has gotten a little easier. I'd be worried that the runs would start to wear on my nerves, but thus far I haven't minded them that much. Well, it's only been a week, wow. I suppose there's plenty of time for me to start dreading the sound of my alarm in the morning. Vietnam flashbacks with Emmy always waking us up for the morning runs. Not that I could ever skip out now. As Emmy said, it's harder to stop a routine when there's another person. And frankly, I don't think I'm equipped to deal with a disappointed, puppy-eyed Emmy. She's probably giving me those puppy eyes and I feel terrible about myself. Which reminds me, wasn't I supposed to be somewhere? Yeah, the track meet. Hey, you're coming to my track meet on Sunday, right? What am I talking about? Of course you are. Right? Those puppy dog eyes again. Of course I'm going. I owe you, right? Exactly, so don't forget, okay? It all comes back. Crap, Emmy's track meet. I better get move on if I don't want to miss her running, since she's the only reason I'm even considering going. Otherwise it would defeat the whole purpose of going. We better get there. And so I'll soon find myself quite suddenly surrounded by a crowd of people, all turned out to see our track team compete with another school like this one. And I'll admit it, it's almost comforting to know we're not the only school like this. After you can see that there can be two schools with a bunch of kids like this, well, you stop feeling so defective. Stop saying that, man. You also stop feeling unique. We're all unique in our own ways, which in most cases would be a bad thing, but in this case it sure as hell isn't. That's part of Yamako's appeal, I guess. Learn that you're not unique. Hell, learn that a lot of others who would kill to be saddened with your problem instead of whatever they're dealing with. Some of the kids here aren't here because they're missing a leg or they have a heart condition. Some of them might be here because they're as good as dead in 2, maybe 3 years if they're lucky. That's rather morbid. And that's only if they get the right sort of care. It's the best sort of comfort to be able to say, well, at least I've got a chance of being alive through college, but there it is. I brought out my rather morbid musings by the appearance of Rin near the entrance to the bleachers. You came? Of course I said I would, didn't I? That doesn't necessarily imply that you had to follow her. Shut up, Rin! Lots of people say things they don't mean them exactly. Well, I don't. Rin shrugs, seemingly bored of our conversation. She turns on her heel and heads back towards the stands. I owe Emmy money now. Why is that? I didn't think you'd show up. Emmy did. So I owe her 500 yen. You two bet an awful lot, don't you? Another shrug of my armless companion. I don't think so. We enter the bleachers and Rin nods upwards. Up there. I came out to see you if you'd come. For the best, I presume. Rin leads away as soon as we settle down on an almost empty bench. Hello. There's an older woman sitting next to Rin, someone's mother I assume. She's got rather long hair done up in a braid. On seeing Rin she gives her an oddly familiar seeing grin. Well, this is surprising. I thought you went to get a snack, not a boy. Huh? A snack? I wonder why I was down there. The woman laughs again in a way that seems familiar. Where have I seen her before? Well, I suppose you'll always be one to go out for one thing and bring back another. But I'm being rude. I've introduced myself. I'm Maiko Aparatsuki, Emmy's mother. Pleased to meet you. Well, that explains it. She's like a taller, older, and better endowed Emmy. Apart from her hair being a darker shade than Emmy's, there's really no mistaking the resemblance. Sorry, I'm Hisao Nakai. And really, you don't have to apologise for not introducing yourself, Mrs. Aparatsi. That's really Rin's job in this situation, isn't it? Another laugh of Emmy's mother. I take it you've not known Rin for that long, then? It's best not to expect her to remember something like that. She's got other things to think about, I assume. Rin nods, seeming pleased by this assessment. She's right. I was thinking about sunsets. You see, it's really up to us to make introductions and the like. For lack of any better response, Mrs. Abarazzi leans back on her seat and raises an eyebrow. So how long have... We've been friends for under a week, or just over a week. My response consists of silence as my brain suddenly lurches into gear. But just before I can begin to utter a hastily babbled response, Emmy's mother bursts into laughter again. You're a blusher, aren't you? I don't know if there's any way to keep my dignity in this situation, so I settle for a mumbled response. So this must be a new romance then, mustn't it? Wait, that's not the question that... I never laugh. I know, but it's funny to watch you squirm. Shut up! Stop it, I'm sorry for giving an old woman her amusements. Old woman? She sure doesn't look that old to me. Clearly Emmy gets her youthful features from her mother. I suppose I can let it go. How kind of you. It's starting. Indeed it is starting. We know what's going to happen. Emmy's going to win this, for goodness sakes. Looks like the 400-meter dash. I scan the runners before finding Emmy. There she is. Almost cocky looking on her face. And the starter raises his pistol and off they go. We know exactly what happens here. We've read through this when we went through Rin's route. It's very similar up until like certain points where we do definitely diverge offwards into a more... Oh, Mrs. Aparati whoops and shouts. I haven't seen this one before. Emmy bounds off the track looking pleased with herself. I cheer right along with the rest of them. The announcer, sounding suspiciously like Misha, gleefully gives results. I think she's gone faster since the last time. That was incredible. Mrs. Apparazzi grins proudly. Emmy's a heck of a runner. With foresight as the next event has been prepared, I was surprised to see Emmy striding out onto the track again. Wait, didn't she just run? Emmy's mother nods. Yes, but she runs multiple events with her team, especially the sprints. It's a lot of running, but Emmy can handle it. From the looks of things, she's right. Emmy doesn't appear to be tired, as if she hadn't run the previous event at all. If not for the sweat visible on her shirt, you'd never know. Which event is this? It's the 200-meter dash. It gets more intense. She'll do this one, the 100-meter and the relay. I see. Once again the pistol sounds, and once again Emmy flies off the block. A thumping sound draws my attention away from the race. It's Rin's foot. She seems completely absorbed in the race. Emmy's mother cheers again, and I assume that the race is over. Sprints don't seem to me like they take very long to complete. No, it's a very, very fast event. It's not like a marathon that goes on for hours. Your foot. Your foot was bouncing the bleachers. Oh. You seem pretty into this stuff. I'm surprised. Rin looks at me quizzically. Why wouldn't I be? No reason. I just thought stuff like sports wouldn't interest you. I suppose you're right. It's not that interesting. I think it's very interesting, like watching the Olympics. Not watching football, though. But I'm watching Emmy, not the sport. I don't follow. You're here because you want to see Emmy, not the sport. Emmy's most Emmy when she runs. You don't get to see Emmy at her Emmyest very often. But here you can see, can you see? She directs my attention towards the track again, where the 100-meter dash is about to start. I watch Emmy closely. This is not the one. From the portrait alone, this is not 100 meters. As she gets onto the star blocks, her whole body seems to relax, but it's a false relaxation. I can see that she's actually like a coiled spring. As the starter tells everyone to get set, her head snaps up and her eyes narrow slightly. Got her eye on the prize. Got her eye on the prey. Her mouth curls upwards in what could be a grin and could be a growl. And off she goes again. When the pistol goes off, it's as if she's been unleashed from a cage. It's like she was always moving at this blind speed, but we couldn't see it happening until the starter's pistol dispelled the illusion of motionless. It's all over in a few seconds, but in those few seconds I feel like I just witnessed something very personal for Emmy. As soon as she crossed the finish line, the fierce look was replaced by her normal grin. The conquering general returned to his farm. Amazing. She's really amazing. I've never seen anyone move that fast. Well, don't look at me. I'm far too relaxed to run that fast. Now I think Emmy's prowess all came from her father's side. At the mention of Emmy's father, Mrs. Abarasaki looks wistful, almost sad. He got her into running, you know. Yeah, she told me. I'm uncertain as to whether or not it would be rude of me to ask about Emmy's father, but after that look on her face a few days ago, I feel compelled to ask. Where is her father now, if I may ask? Emmy's mother hesitates, clearly not willing to answer the question, but at the same time not wishing to appear rude. He isn't around anymore. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bring up bad memories. Emmy just seemed a little sad when she mentioned him earlier. That's not surprising, considering. So, I think Emmy was not the only one that was in that car incident. Emmy's father, I think, took the brunt of that accident. I think Emmy's father pushed Emmy away, although her legs were caught, but Emmy's father was kind of like a sacrifice to potentially save Emmy, in a way. They were very close. I see. A bleeping noise suddenly immense from Mrs. Abarasaki's pocket. Reaching into it, she pulls out her cell phone and looks at it. Honestly, text messages? What is he, 16? Oh, nothing. I've got to go meet up with a friend of mine, because a friend of yours is more important than your daughter. Will you tell Emmy I'm very proud of her and that I'll call her later tonight? Of course. Of course. And now's Rin. I'll admit that I zoned out for a while. I almost didn't notice that the relay is about to begin, but when I look I can't find Emmy. I thought that Emmy would be running the relay. Excuse me. She runs anchor, so she won't be running for a while yet. Ah. Did you see it? Emmy at her Emmyest. How did I guess? Maybe? Maybe this time. The race begins, and I cheer Emmy's teammates along as they pass the baton. Finally, I see Emmy, with completely the same people in the same position. Emmy sprinting off to the track and taking off her final handoff. Once again, I'm taken aback by how graceful she looks when she runs. It really is beautiful. The look of determination and fearlessness on her face only adds to the picture. Emmy at her Emmyest, I suppose. And there she is. But then as she crosses the finish line, I see her stumble slightly. It's only briefly, but it's a definite stumble. Rin inhales sharply and actually looked concerned for a second. Ah, Emmy. Did she hurt herself, do you think? You notice it too? It must be bad. She frowns as if deciding on the next course of action. Eventually that proves to be too tiresome and she shrugs again. Well, let's go down. Gotta crown the victor. See if you can find a... This again, Rin? No! We can't just find something like that within a short given of time! That's not going to be easy. Rin shrugs. At least we tried. Well, we didn't really try all that hard. But hey, whatever. Emmy is surrounded by her teammates, all of them congratulating her on the run. Rin seems to be waiting for Emmy to notice that she's arrived. Oh yeah, I guess she can't really wave Emmy over. Then again, I'm not sure that Rin would do such a thing if she had arms. It doesn't seem her style to draw attention to herself or to emote beyond shrugging. Either way, I'm not willing to wait, so I wave to Emmy, who looks up and grins happily at me, us. Well done, Emmy! Hey, you showed up! Guess Rin owes me money, huh? We would have brought you a crown of laurels, but Hisao didn't. Rin, you put this task upon us! Hey, neither did you. It wasn't my job to look. Well, don't put the job on us in the first place. When did we assign jobs? When I said see if we could find a L'Oreal branch. L'Oreal branch, gee, I'm trying to keep up. I guess I shrug. Guess Rin's rubbing off on me. Seems it's my fault after all, Emmy. Emmy laughs at Rin and me. It's okay, I'm sure you're making up to me somehow. Sure. Good, so how'd I look? I'll stop myself for blurting out beautiful or amazing and settle for the substantially safer, very impressive. Emmy seems pleased with this assessment. I don't mention how much more impressive her performance is given her lack of legs. I think she knows that already. Besides, it seems like it would take away from her efforts somehow. Great to hear. I was worried that I'd looked a little slow on the relay, but I guess I did fine, huh? Actually, I don't... Rin keeps me from finishing my sentence. What was that all about? He noticed it at the end. That's no good. Guess the nurse will look at it for me later. What was that grin? What was that angry grin there for? There's a carelessness in her voice, as if it isn't a big deal, but I suddenly notice a slight twitch on her face, like she's trying to hide the fact that she's in pain. It's then I notice her breathing is a little shallow too. I guess she really is hurt. She must notice my concern, because she skips up to me and gives me a friendly pat on the shoulder. Hey, you look a little worried. I'm fine, really. Just sore from all the running, is all. And come on, a little pain isn't going to stop me. It's not that. It's the kind of pain that is bad. Oh, no. Amy grins, and for a moment she looks like she's dead during her sprint, fierce and unconquerable, or to put another way, really beautiful. Hasn't yet. Well then, I guess I shouldn't worry, huh? Damn right. I'm Amy Aparastaki, fastest thing on no legs, I don't stop for anything. Impressive. Amy Gilkers then seems to remember something. Oh, before I forget, Rin and I are going to do something next Saturday as a post-track meet celebration. You should come along. Normally we do it the day after, but since the track meet was on a Sunday, I've got homework and class and all that stuff to take care of. Plus a morning run, of course. Right. Of course. Oh right, your mum wanted to say that she's proud of you. She'll call you later tonight. I thought I saw her in the stands. I'm glad she made it. Used to be my dad who showed up to my meets, but Mum's done a pretty good job of taking over. She shivers slightly, and I realise that she's still all sweaty. A breeze has started to blow too. I'm not cold at all, and I've got my jacket with me, so without a word I throw it around her shoulders. Aww. Amy jumps slightly and grins at me. Hey, thanks. It's getting a little cold, I guess. Yeah, looks like it. Just so I begin to wonder, I'm cold now, whether or not to give Emmy my jacket could be taken the wrong way a boy in a track uniform approaches. Hey Emmy, you're going to miss the medal ceremony. Oh yeah, thanks. She turns to Rin and myself. You don't have to stick around for this, but it takes forever. Besides, you should get cracking on your homework if you don't want to be up late, Hisao. Morning run tomorrow, don't forget. How could I? Good point, I mean, you're spending time with me after all. Oh, you cheeky one. You cheeky one. With this, she waves quickly and dashes off to receive her medals, or whatever they pass off as a medal these days. Rin and I head away from the track, Rin remaining deep in whatever thoughts she had for most of the walk back to her dorm. As I see her off, she speaks up. You're probably not getting that coat back, I think. I'm sure I'll get it back eventually. Interesting. Take it as it comes, huh? Very Emery-ish. With this odd statement, she turns and heads into the building. Honestly, was it that big of a deal? Emma was cold and, unless I'm mistaken, in pain. Giving her a solution to at least one of her problems seems like an obvious reaction, but I guess there is a chance I could lose my jacket if Emmy never remembers to return it. I guess Rin has a point. Still, I can't bring myself to muster much worry over the whole thing. After all, it's been getting warmer lately. I don't need a jacket. Odd. I think I used to be a little more responsible with my stuff. Emmy-ish, huh? Maybe that's not really a bad thing. Exactly, in some ways. Other ways, probably. Like ability to grab you by the collar and drag you to morning jogs or avoid you getting fried food. Which is understandable. Fried stuff is not good for you anyways. You haven't been forgetting to take your medicines, have you? I'm catching a little murmur. You should take it easy for a few days. The nurse's words hurt me far more than the exhaustion of a morning run ever could. Take it easy for a few days? I knew I should have kept quiet. I keep my eyes on the floor, feeling like a complete idiot. Of course I haven't been remembering to take my... Oh man, you naughty boy. I'll be rushing out of my room to get to the track before Emmy. After the track meet a few days ago, I felt inspired, so I've been running warm-up laps in the morning before Emmy shows up. But then today, while she and I were running, I felt a little pain in my chest. It was only slight, and it was only a second, so I mentioned it to the nurse. Don't let it become a habit. I mean, I kept running and finished just fine, so really it couldn't have been that bad. Why do I feel like I make an excuse? Exactly. He's not buying any of it. Moreover, why do I feel a need to justify continuing to run despite the pain? Really, it comes down to my being unwilling to concern Emmy, who seems concentrated anyway. I'm not sure how she was able to tell there was anything wrong, but she claims I stumbled a little. She's the one who insists I tell the nurse, and now I feel bad for worrying her at all. The nurse is shaking his head ruefully while Emmy paces outside the room. Hi Sal, I know it's difficult for you to get into a routine, but if you don't want to find yourself in a lot of trouble, you're going to have to try harder. You can't afford to forget your pills, and you can't push yourself too hard. Well, tell Emmy not to push us too hard! But if I don't push myself, how would I improve? I don't know where that came from. The nurse seems to have an idea. Now, where have I heard that before? Emmy! He laughs and pats me on the shoulder. Ha! She's rubbing off on you, I guess. His expression changes again, and he's back in serious mode. Look, I'm not saying you shouldn't push yourself, but you should push yourself a little less. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't be taking your medication, and it doesn't mean you should stop if your chest starts to bother you. I prefer not to have any fatalities while I'm on staff here. A bit of a lofty goal to be sure, but I'm always up for a challenge. I hate to admit it, but I think he's right. I've got to remember to take my medication. You're right. I'm sorry to worry you. Who's worried? You're a smart kid, right? I know you can be responsible, Hisao. A situation like yours, you've got to learn to be responsible fast. I know. His expression suddenly becomes devious. I suppose you started to enjoy your runs with Emmy then, huh? Yeah, they've really been helping me. I mean, until today I was feeling a lot more healthy. Plus, it's really improved to see Emmy run. Did you see her at the track meet? She was incredible. The nurse nods, grinning all the while. That she was, Hisao. I watched her first couple of races before I had some business to take care of, but she told me all about it. Kind of you to loan her your jacket, by the way. Huh? Oh yeah, it wasn't that big of a deal. I had honestly forgotten all about that. I still haven't got it back. The nurse gets a smile that makes me feel like he's just made a joke. Not to you, but Emmy certainly appreciates it. And I know she appreciates your running with her in the mornings. This one catches me a little off guard. Sure, she mentioned that it's easier to keep to a schedule with an extra person, but I didn't think I was doing her a favour at all. I thought she was doing me the favour of helping me follow the doctor's orders. She tries harder when you're around. If there's someone else running with her, she's going to push herself more. And she tries even harder when you're around because, well, it's you. What the heck does that mean? Oh, you'd love to know, wouldn't you? He laughs in the style of evil megalomaniacs. No, seriously, it's because you're her friend. If Rin ran with her, I'm sure she'd do the same. Well, probably. But that's not the point. The point is you're helping her, even if you don't know you are. And she's grateful for that, even if she never says it. What do you mean, even she... It's very difficult to explain, but people often have feelings for others, but they never express them out loud. Emmy doesn't talk a lot. She talks a lot, how dare you? But she and I have known each other for long enough that I can read her most of the time. I'll admit I have no idea what he's talking about. Emmy always seems pretty talkative to me. I see. The nurse suddenly realized that he's been rambling and stopped talking, looking a little embarrassed. Anyway, you don't have to stop your morning exercise. Just walk the track instead of running for a few days. Let things calm down. And take your damned medicine. I laugh as I exit the office, bumping straight into Emmy. Hello, whoops, sorry about that. Are you okay? What did the nurse say? Do you need to go to... No! Oh my gosh, it was my fault, wasn't it? I've been pushing you too hard, haven't I? Yes, you sure have. I'm a horrible person. You're not horrible, but you just need to learn to... The words pour forth like a torrent. She's really agitated. I didn't expect her to be this concerned about me, to be honest. Gotta calm her down, but how the hell do I do that? I do the only thing I can think of. I give her a hug. Emmy tends to sigh, so I pat her head in what hopes is a reassuring manner. Hey, settle down. I'm fine, okay? No worries. I can feel Emmy's body relax like I did to assure her, but I'm fine. Her arms wrap around me as if she's trying to confirm that I'm not about to fall over dead. I catch a whiff of her hair. It smells like sweat, or how adrenaline should smell. It's a scent of activity, and a hint of strawberries, from a shampoo I suspect. I just need to remember to take my medicine, sorry, that's all. Don't worry about it. It's not your fault. I want to say it is your fault. You sure? Her voice is muffled, mostly because at the moment her face is pressed into my chest. Yeah, I'm sure. I just need to take it easy for the next few days. It suddenly occurs to me how close the two of us are. It also occurs to me how nice being this close feels. I can feel Amy's heartbeat calming me down, enough to resist the urge to rest my chin on top of her head. Thank goodness. You really had me worried there, Hisao. Amy, you going to come in here anytime soon? Oh, I'm sorry, was I interrupting? I like this nurse a lot, I like him. The two of us spring apart as if we have just caught fire. Amy brushes her back nervously and laughs. Course not. See you later, okay? Oh, and Hisao. Take your damn medicine. This last phrase is punctuated by a punch to the shoulder. Yeah, I'll remember. See you later. The nurse smiles again, like he's in on some joke I don't know about, and waves to me as I head from my room, feeling a burning in my cheeks. Definitely very, very different from the ordeals of Rin's route. I need a shower, a cold one, if the thoughts running through my head now are any indication. She was really soft. My pills are waiting for me when I make it to my room. I swallow them without a second thought. I don't know why I didn't think of waiting until after the runs to take them. For some reason I figured it was when I woke up or not at all. But no, they need to be taken every 24 hours. The exact time of day doesn't factor into it. My thoughts drift back to the hug in the hallway. It's weird. You expect someone to smell foul after a run, but for some reason Emmy smelled right. That tinge of sweat just seemed to fit her. Like if it was meant for her. I really need that shower. Shower thoughts. No, that's really bad. Shower thoughts. Oh dear. Excuse me. At least it's not something else I'm embarrassing like morning wood. Strange, but it feels so natural for me to go up to the roof these days. I never would have done such a thing at my old school. In those days, I'd like to eat alone. No, that's not quite true, but I like to sit alone. I also like to watch people. People watching? I always figured that was the sort of person I was, but it appears I was wrong. Then again, I also thought I was the sort of person who had a normal heart. So there you have it. What is a normal heart? I don't know myself that well. Now I'm on the roof so that I can have lunch with a couple of people. And they are both girls, which is even stranger. It's like this is our very own harem. Like, the nurse is the only other main male character. Oh, and also the teacher as well, I forgot about that, Muto. And the art teacher, okay. But when it comes to the actual students, we're the only male main character. Oddly enough, I feel close to Emmy and Rin than I felt to anyone at my old school. Somehow I get a feeling they'd at least visit me if I wound up in the hospital. I focus on the view from the roof, banishing such thoughts from my head. There's a light breeze blowing, and the sun is shining higher in the sky. The sky itself is a deep blue. It certainly is, with hardly a cloud in it. It's gone pleasantly warm, and as I sit down to wait for my friends, I close my eyes and enjoy the feeling of the sun seeping into my skin. And we're going to sleep, apparently. Wake up! Voices intrude upon the edge of hearing. Seems to have fallen asleep on us, Rin. Maybe he's faking, to lure us into a false sense of security. Why would he do that? No idea. Still, you make a good point. We should kick him or something to make sure he's really asleep. What? Thanks. Emmy looms over me like only a short girl can, peering at me intently. Oh, you're awake. I guess we don't have to kick you then. Was it part of your master plan? What are you talking about? Emmy shrugs, her twin tails bouncing with the motion. I'm not sure either. You must be pretty tired to fall asleep out here. Although it's pretty comfortable, I suppose. She plops down next to me and begins to eat. Great. Rin sits opposite from the two of us, a move which only makes me more aware of the girl sitting next to me. If I don't know any better, I'd swear Rin did it on purpose. I concentrate on my phone, trying to tone out the majority of the conversation that Rin and Emmy are having. Despite my best efforts, however, I still find myself glancing over Emmy whenever she speaks. I notice how she purses her lips when she's thinking about something, squinting slightly as if that would improve her thinking ability. Rin says something that makes Emmy laugh, and I notice, perhaps for the first time, how she laughs with her whole body rocking back and forth, head thrown back, almost like she's about to fall over. I'll probably look like a creep. It's about this time that I realise Emmy's looking at me, her voice raised slightly, so she's probably just asked me a question. Huh? Sorry, I kind of zoned out for a moment there. Emmy rolls her eyes, while a slight quirk from the eyebrow is the only sign that Rin's ever paying attention. I said, did you get a career survey in your class too? You know, one of those, what do you want to do after high school things? I don't think so. Maybe we'll get one tomorrow. What are you going to put down? That's a really good question. I guess I always figured I'd go to college after high school, but I've no idea what I'd do once I get there. And with the heart attack and all, I'd really be concentrating each day as if it came rather than making long-term plans. I suppose I can safely start planning ahead again. I've always liked having at least a vague plan for my future, so it'll be nice to come up with one again. Of course, that doesn't change the fact that right now I've got absolutely no clue. I always kind of assumed I'd figure it out in college, that or just become a salary man. That's pretty popular. But do I really want to? That's a tough question. I guess I don't really want to do anything. You don't sound very excited about that one, do you? She laughs, she says this, and I'm caught up in her laugh again. It's so girlish, high and giggly, like a, well, pardon the cliche, like a babbling brook. It bubbles out of her, starting her whole belly and working its way up to her throat. I can't help but laugh myself, it's infectious. Yeah, I guess I'm pretty unhappy with the salary man idea, but to be honest, I haven't given much thought to the future recently. I suppose that these days, I've been more concerned with living one day at a time. Emmy considers this for a moment and grins. That's a pretty good idea, Hisao. I just wrote down pirate. Oh. I'm momentarily stunned when I start laughing. I stop myself and manage to gasp out a question. You're not actually serious, are you? Emmy looks mock offended. Well, I've got the legs for it already, so I just kind of figured. Even Rin seems amused by this. Just you wait. I'll be the terror of the high seas. Yeah, with that little cute frame. Yeah. I'll show you all. Yeah. I've even been working on my pirate voice. She suddenly springs up and begins swaggering up and down the rooftop shouting orders. Yah, me hearties. Give me a broadside with the long guns. Give 'em. We'll wear their guts for garters. Do you even know what that means? Rin's unexpected interruption stops Emmy in her tracks. Not really. But it's all in the delivery. The ring of the bells prevents her from demonstrating a point further. Thank you, Bell, for being there for us in our darkest hour. Emmy dashed off immediately, leaving Rin and myself alone on the roof. Rin stares at me intently for a few moments. Is there something wrong? Rin considers this question closely for a moment. After a lengthy pause, she shakes her head. Nope. Oh, why the staring then? Rin shakes her head again. Nope, I don't get it. Get what? The staring thing. You two seem to, but I don't. Great, she saw me staring. Now she probably thinks I'm a pervert or something. Actually, probably not. This is Rin we're talking about after all. Still, I feel a need to defend myself. I wasn't staring, I was just tired. Rin actually snorts at this, but she doesn't say anything. No, really, I was just distracted is all. Distracted by what? Eager to end this conversation, head back down to class. Goodbye for the moment. I'm greeted by the twin spectres of Shizney and Misha, looking like they mean business. Well, Shizney looks like she means business anyway. Misha just looks like she's about to start laughing at any minute. Up on the roof again, Hai-chan. You know that's dangerous, don't you? That's right. The school cannot be held responsible for any injury that comes from being up there, you know. Furthermore, we could report you for breaking the rules. Misha leans in and whispers conspiratorially. But we won't, Hai-chan. You three are too cute. She strains up again, laughing at my sudden blush. You're too easy to tease, Hai-chan. Hey, come on. I'm still new here. Sort of. Isn't it mean to pick on a newcomer like this? Nope. It's to get you... So it's to help you get you accumulated to be new surroundings. I see. Well, do you have to be so overzealous about it? Yep. That aside, Hai-chan, we were looking for you this morning, but you weren't in your room. Of course I wasn't. I was out for my morning exercise, or here in class bright and early. Unlike you. Shizzy looks peeved, and a beat later so does Misha, or she tries to at any rate. But that's because it was student council business. You should be grateful that we worked so hard for you. Oh, I am. So what do you need me for? Not another attempt to rope me in to do that dirty work, I hope. We had to give you something, but since you weren't around, we dropped it off in your room. Something? Like what? Oh, you'll find out when you get back, Hai-chan. Muto entering the room ends our conversation. We all head to our seats. It's only after I settle down on my desk and the teacher starts talking about something or other that something odd strikes me. What do we mean, you seem to? Was Emmy staring at something too? For a brief moment, I considered the possibility that Emmy was staring at me the way I was staring at her. Of course, that's ridiculous. Still, I can't deny that I wouldn't mind if that were true. But it's best not to think of that. No need to get my hopes up after all. Indeed, anything could happen in the future. Come to think of it, when did I start having hopes like that anyway? I shake my head in an attempt to clear it and focus on the lesson. I would love to shake my head more, but these headphones suggest so otherwise. After class, I went away to my room. Muto really piled on the homework today. Before I can open my door, however, I'm suddenly intercepted by Kenji, who has just exploded out of his room in a flurry of papers. As I close the door, my heel taps against something lying on the floor. It's a brightly coloured rectangle of paper. This must be the something Misha mentioned before. Probably a student council leaflet she slid under the door. However, when I pick it up, I find that I couldn't have been more wrong. Someone actually wrote me an old-fashioned, handwritten paper letter. Iwanako. Who bothers doing something like that in this day of age anyway? Yet, as unlikely as the prospect of receiving one sounds, this is definitely a letter I have in my hands. I was planning on finishing my homework, getting some dinner, and go to bed in order to be ready for tomorrow morning's run. However, the letter has naturally caught my interest. I sit at my desk and examine it properly. Yeah, it definitely is Iwanako. It's the first piece of mail I've received here at Yamako, so it feels special even if it wasn't something as rare as a handwritten letter. What causes me even more trepidation is the name of the sender, written neatly on the back of the envelope. Iwanako. I have no idea why she would write to me. I haven't been in contact with anyone from my old school since I transferred, and Iwanako is the last person I expect to want to write me a letter. The last time I saw Iwanako was terribly awkward, embarrassingly so. She came to my hospital room, peeled me an apple out of curiosity, and then we practically sat in silence for half an hour. She said goodbye and didn't look at me in the eye when she closed the door. It might have been a natural end to the series of visits that were probably pretty painful for both of us. Every time she visited me in the hospital, I wanted to talk to her, but something stopped me every time. Every time I didn't speak made the next time even harder. She looked so guilty that I didn't want to say anything that might upset her, and I never could figure out the right words to say. I think Iwanako blamed herself for my heart attack. That's ridiculous, of course, but knowing it and believing it are two very different things. I told her it wasn't her fault. She nodded, and I really think she understood that if it hadn't been that, then sooner or later something else would have made my heart give out. Yet she looked so hopelessly sad every time she opened that door and entered my room. So I never managed to say the things I wanted to say. In the end, that might have hurt her even more. Carefully opened the envelope and drew out the folded letter from within. We've already read through this in Rin's route. So there's that. If you want to look at these, you can pause the screen at any given time. Cool. Seniors. First trimester. Other things I want to say. I really regret that I wasn't able to save him in person. I have no excuse for it. Yeah, I think I've had quite enough of this. I crumple up the sheet paper and toss it across the room. My aim is off, so the letter rolls up under my nightstand instead of... Well, this is different because last time you responded in Rin's route. You did, anyways. That was an apology for abandoning me, except I don't know that I really need it anymore at this point. The hospital seems like a lifetime ago. In here, now I've got other things on my mind. Emmy for starters. It wasn't great to be abandoned during my stay, but it's not something I'm worried about anymore. In fact, I haven't even thought about the hospital in what it feels like forever until this letter came in. It's almost annoying to have received it. I've got exams to study for myself. I have no time for the past. Now about the homework. Yeah, I hate looking at the past as well because all I can see is a less capable version of myself. But people should say that you should be proud of how far you've come in life, rather than, let's say, what is for the future. So what's the plan for today anyway? I'm waiting patiently in the hallway of the girls' dormitory just outside of Emmy and Rin's rooms. Emmy is appearing to help Rin with getting dressed. I suppose that makes perfect sense. I have no idea how Rin would get dressed otherwise. Picnic! Picnic? That's what I said. Sounds pretty exciting. I know, right? Rin chooses this moment to make an observation. The sky seems threatening today. Actually, I noticed that too on my way over. Despite the sunshine of the early morning, the afternoon seems to have taken a turn for the gloomy. There's a heaviness to the air as well that usually heralds a rainstorm. My bad. I wonder if I should put on my umbrella. I think that's a good idea if you did. She's got a point. Emmy, you sure you still want to risk getting caught in the rain? I don't even know why I'm bother asking, because I know what her answer's going to be. Emmy pops out of Rin's room into the hallway, looking shocked that I'd even suggest cancelling our plans. Of course! What, the threat of rain is supposed to stop me? I can't help but grin her belligerent response. It's almost like she's daring the rain to come. If Mother Nature were walking down the street, I think Emmy would probably start a fight with her, or at least challenge her to a race. In fact, Emmy seems almost aggressively cheerful today. Rin wanders out into the hallway looking her usual empty-bladed self. Well then, are we all ready to go? I'm ready. Rin nods and says a single word. Basket. Beg pardon? The basket in Emmy's room. You should carry it. Emmy claps her hand to her mouth, embarrassed. Oh my gosh, I almost forgot about all about it. Sorry, nice save, Rin. Emmy darts into her room and emerges with what looks like a very well-stocked picnic basket. And she hands it over to me. I note that it feels heavy enough to be 1, 2. Good lord, how much food did she pack? More to the point, where'd she get the money for all of this? So are we set to head out? Yep. Rin gives another nod and we head out of the dormitory. I can't help but frown when I notice how grey the sky has gotten in 10 minutes I was inside. Still, Emmy does not seem concerned by such petty concerns as the colour of the sky. She's positively skipping as we walk, which reminds me, where are we going? This brings Emmy up short and she shoots me an embarrassed look. You know, I haven't really thought of that. What do you think, Hisao? Well, there's the spot where we ate during the festival, but it might be nice to leave the campus for a while. However, I'm not sure if there's any good place to do that in town. Just about to open mouth, Rin unexpectedly interjects with a suggestion. Inside, there's a park in town near the art shop. Great idea, Rin. I totally forgot all about that place. Crisis averted. Do you know how to get there, Rin? I take that as a no. It's pretty likely. Good enough for me. I prefer knowing for sure, but what the hell. Lead on, Rin. The three of us quickly make our way off the campus and take the road down into town. The basket's a bit heavy. I hope that the park is close by. We pass the art supply shop, Rin slowing her pace slightly as we go by. Emmy notices Rin's change of pace and stops. You want to go in, Rin? Rin shrugs. Nothing I need. Are you sure? That's the slightest flutter of a smile on Rin's face, quickly replaced with her usual expression. Life's Well, it's not like I'm the one carrying the basket. But I'll bet Hisao wouldn't have minded anyway, right? Of course not. This is hardly a heavy load. Don't say things like that. I flex for emphasis. Emmy stifles a snort of laughter by pointing to the park at which we've suddenly arrived. I remember this place. I ran into you here that one time, didn't I, Rin? Rin's eyebrows raises slightly. Maybe. I'm unwilling to say for certain one way or the other. Excuse me. Memory's a tricky thing, you know. Well, I'll be. We made it in one piece after all. The sun's still nowhere to be seen, but neither Emmy nor Rin seem to mind. Hey, we find a spot to sit on the grass, and I set the basket down gratefully. Yes, we're very grateful that now we can just do that, for goodness sakes. Like, at this angle, you can't really tell that Emmy doesn't have any lower legs of sorts. There's a surprising amount of food prepared. Maybe we're supposed to be joined by some of Emmy's teammates or something. I'm starving. Dig in. She attacks the food as she had nothing to eat for years. And, yep, there is the rain. Emmy's in face at the moment. Maybe this was a bad idea after all, for goodness sakes. Uh-oh. Looks like the weather's not going to cooperate with us after all. Emmy glares at the sky as if that alone would hold back the rain. I very nearly believe she could do it. It's one heck of a glare. It had better cooperate. You hear me, Sky? You stop that rain right this instant. The Sky doesn't seem inclined to listen to us, despite the commanding tone she's taken with it. Instead of the rain seems to increase, Rin winkles her nose in distaste at this turn of events. Regrettable. What do you mean? I could paint this if I weren't out here. Shame to miss it is all. She doesn't seem angry or annoyed about it, just a little disappointed. Emmy laughs in response to Rin's comment. Guess we should have stopped in that art supply store after all, huh? The rain increases a little more, offended that we haven't fled yet. Despite the warm temperatures we've been enjoying, the rain is rather cold. I wish I brought my umbrella. Hey, we should probably head inside to keep dry. We're already pretty wet, Hisao. Yeah, but we could dry off this way and maybe wait out for the storm. You don't want to catch a cold or anything, do you? Emmy considers this moment. I can tell that part of her wants to stay out in the rain just to spite the weather. Unfortunately for her, the weather hardly cares about what we do. I suppose you're right. Where could we go? I don't have an answer for her. The area is still pretty new to me. But I guess I'm slowly getting used to the school itself. The surrounding town remains a mystery. All I know is the art supply store, and that's only just because we just passed it. Fortunately, Emmy soon snaps her fingers in triumph. That's it. There's a tea shop nearby. We could have some tea and dry out, no problem. That doesn't sound like a bad idea. Great, you know where it is? Emmy nods, looking fairly confident. Sure do, I think. But it'll be adventure either way, right? Adventure? Well, I suppose we could use a little adventure. We should have taken our umbrella with us, because we're both going to catch a cold at this rate. I think as long as we get out of the rain, I'll be happy. The picnic basket is a little lighter now, at least. Lead on. Rin and I follow Emmy as she waves through the streets with something approaching confidence. Now, a left here. There! The Shanghai. Emmy beams triumphantly as she points at to the team shop, It seems fairly crowded inside, a symptom of the sudden rain, I'm sure. And here we are. The usual. This is a different guy than usual. What do you mean by all this? What different guy? Emmy must notice my confusion, because she seems a little embarrassed. But what? Oh yeah, I guess he is. This is my friend Hisao. We've met. Huh, small world. Well, let me know if you need anything. Thanks for that. That was really awkward. With that, Yuko takes off like a shot to wait on some of the tables, leaving me to ponder her comment. Different guy, huh? I guess it makes sense, right? Emmy's pretty popular, or so I've been told. It's probably that kid from the track team. This is stupid, I can just ask Emmy. So, who is this other guy, huh? You got a secret lover or something? Emmy asks again, only I get a feeling it's from the nervousness as much as anything else. It's just the track team captain. He likes coming down here after practice sometimes. so if we have anything to discuss, I tag along. Sounds mighty suspicious to me. Oh, I see. I could let the matter drop, but I can't resist at least getting another dig in. So, is it a secret lover? I knew it! Rin watches our play, seemingly mildly amused, before muttering something that I don't quite catch. Anyway. What? Rin jerks back wherever her mind wandered off to. Huh? What did you just say? Huh? No, before that. No idea. Oh well, okay. I'll let the matter drop, but I can't help but notice that Emmy seems relieved that Rin interrupted the conversation. Maybe I went a little too far. Conversation dies down for a moment as Emmy and I busy ourselves with cake. My strawberry surprisingly good. And of course she would steal a bit of ours. But then again, she is paying for this, so that's okay. Emmy seems to think so too, as she suddenly reaches over with a fork and steals a bit. Thief. Pirate. That's the difference. We're not on water. Well, no, but there's a lot of water outside, so it's still... It doesn't! Besides, you can have some of mine. I think it's cranberry or something. I should have asked for a strawberry. I like strawberries. Feel free to help yourself to mine if you really must. For some reason, I feel compelled to add, seeing as how you've already done it once and all. Emmy sticks her tongue out at me, but that doesn't stop her from appropriating my cake. Appropriating? I'll try some of hers as well. It's raspberry and pretty good. The rain's let up. It would appear that Rin's correct. Good timing too. I finished my food and it looks like Emmy has as well. Well, we better pay and get a move on before it starts raining again. It takes a few minutes to get Yuko's attention, but we pay and get out pretty quickly. So, do you want to return to the park? My jaw nearly drops. Are you kidding? It's probably going to rain again. In fact, I just felt some raindrops. You may be right. Well, okay, I'll let you off the hook this time. But you owe me a picnic, got it? I don't know if she was addressing me, Rin, or the both of us. Fine, fine. Now hurry up. I wanted to get some laps in at the track and it would be nice to do it without the rain. I thought this was your day off. Well, Emmy suddenly seems reluctant to explain herself. I need the practice. And I need to burn off that cake anyway. Why do I get the feeling that she's leaving something out? You sure? It wasn't that much cake. It wasn't like the 3 gulps last time in Rin's route. No, it wasn't that much cake for you. I ate most of it. She's got a point there. Still. I feel like I should at least offer to run with her. Why? Keep quiet. Come to think of it, she decides she'd rather be alone right now. I decided to keep my offer to myself. That's probably for the best in a ways. And it's running. As we approach the girls' dormitory, it starts to rain again. Emmy's expression sours slightly. Oh man, stupid rain. Hey, I'll let up soon enough. You can go running then, right? Emmy snorts, seemingly amused. Like I'm not going to run in the rain. Well, you shouldn't. You could catch a cold. Emmy waves her hand airily. Ridiculous, I don't get cold. We'll see about that tomorrow, you fool. My immune system is far too strong for something like that. Yeah, you have too much confidence in yourself. I can't help but laugh. Well, I'll see you tomorrow then, okay? Yeah. Thanks for coming. Oh, and for carrying the picnic basket. I'll bring you for lunch tomorrow. We can have our picnic on the roof. Sounds good to me. See you then. If we do, that is. Emmy grabs a basket for me and shoots through the door. Rin gives me a sort of half nod and ambles inside as well. Damn, it's wet out here. I need to get back to my room and into some dry clothes. I'm still in front of my door, but I am intercepted by the sudden appearance of Keiji, who appears to be carrying a stack of books. I open my door and walk in, grateful to get out of my soaking wet clothes. The rain outside picks up and I find myself hoping that Emily is not out running in this weather. She seems so adamant about doing the run alone. Can't help but wonder if her leg's still bothering her. I try to remember whether or not I've seen her limping at all today, but I can't. Guess I was too caught up in enjoying the day, even if it did rain on us. And as I think back over the events of today, I keep finding myself focusing on my running partner. Her complete refusal to allow the rain to spoil her plans was incredibly cute, but there was something else there too. sort of an unflappable attitude when it comes to enjoying the day as it comes. I really like that quality. Maybe I need to do a little of that myself. I guess we won't be seeing Emmy tomorrow because she has indeed caught a cold. Or maybe we've caught a cold as well because we was out in the rain without an umbrella, for goodness sakes. Let's see what the morning presents to us. And the sound of my alarm breathes me out of a dream involving pirates and some other stuff I can't really remember. I'm a little blurry-eyed, and it feels like it takes me longer than usual to get dressed and down the track. I glance at my watch, reveals that I was right and in fact running a little late. The thing is, there's no Emmy. That's odd, she should be here. She definitely should be here. I mean, I was late, but I guess that means she caught a cold. I guess I wasn't the only one who had trouble getting up this morning. The thought crossed my mind that it never quite stopped raining yesterday. Did she go running anyway? I should have offered to run with her. Then I could have talked her out of the idea, or at least known that she was okay. Or she got struck by lightning or something. I didn't forgive myself. Okay, that's probably a little stupid. Emmy's a resourceful girl. I doubt she'd stay out in a thunderstorm. I trust her judgment on that matter at least. Even so, I can't help wanting to know where she is. Well, nothing for it. I better stretch and run and hope that Emmy shows up with a grin and excuse. But she doesn't. On my cool-down lap, I'm forced to admit that Emmy isn't showing up. Furthermore, I've no idea where she is. Anxiety gnaws at me, while at the same time I wonder just why I'm so worried over her. Run out to take my mind off of it for a little while, but now that I'm finished, I'm back to worrying. It was weird not having her here. Downright unnerving. It suddenly dawns on me that I've been running to hang out with Emmy as much as I've been running to stay healthy. Probably more to be with Emmy now that I think of it. Indeed, my man. It's one of those things that are completely obvious, yet somehow I never realised it. She really is someone I enjoy being with. As revelations go, it's hardly world-shaking. All the same, I find myself slightly shocked. When did this happen? Well, not time to think about this. Though I want to ponder this new development, I have a great desire to find out what's happened to Emmy. I'll ask the nurse when I stop in to see him. Oh, that's a good idea. Well, you seem to be in good shape, Hisao. That's good to hear. I'll replace my shirt and stand to leave, as usual. Except instead of leaving, I have a question. Hey, where's Emmy? She didn't show up this morning. Is she okay? While I try valiantly to conceal the anxiety in my voice, the nurse's expression suggests I've failed miserably. You mean she didn't tell you? She's sick in bed. I wonder why. What? Sick? The nurse shrugs. Yeah, she came to my office early this morning with a fever. To be honest, I'm surprised she made it here. She was burning up when she arrived. I believe she plans to let you know, but she asked me to tell you. Oh, shoot! The nurse gives a sheepish smile that seems at least partially sincere. I told her I'd stop by the track to let you know in case she forgot to. Sorry about that. But we don't need to tell Emmy I forgot, right? I returned the nurse's smile with a devious one of my own. Oh, of course not. This is fine blackmail material. I'll save it for whenever I need a favour from you. The nurse laughs. Well, I guess I deserve that. But you know, I've got tons of blackmail on you that you're not even aware of. So don't push your luck, okay? My expression earns another laugh from the nurse. I'm just kidding, Hisao. But seriously, don't tell Emmy I forgot, okay? Forget, okay? Your secret is safe with me. Oh, good. Now go on. Get out here. Wait, I've got one more question. Shoot. Is she going to be okay? Oh yeah, definitely. Her fever was high, but it was already starting to go down by the time she came by my office. I'll probably check up on her again at lunch to be sure, but I expect she'll be looking up and about by the evening no matter what I tell her. Maybe I should visit her after class. It takes me a second to realise I've spoken. Exactly! The nurse raises an eyebrow and gives me a searching glance for a moment. Well, it might not be a bad idea. You could let me know if she'd taken a turn for the worse, I guess. But no funny business, you got it? I know what meds you're on, after all. I think that's a threat against my life, but I'm not sure. Either way, I assure the nurse that my intentions are chaste and exit the office. Sorry. Interesting that the nurse sees me as some sort of potential suitor to Emmy. Even more interesting is how pleased that makes me feel. I need a shower, and then to get to class, and then from class go to the dormitories to see Emmy. The lunch bell rings and I find myself disincluded to make my way up to the roof. After all, I'm betting Rin knows where he is, and if that's the case, then I doubt she'd bother going up there. More to the point, I doubt we'd have any sort of conversation if she did. Chances are she'd prefer to be alone up there anyway, so I don't accidentally ruin her train of thought or something. Unfortunately, I don't feel like heading to the cafeteria either. Guess I'll go to the library instead. I need a new book to read anyway. Having finished my other one yesterday before bed, maybe I can find more by the same author. By the same author? I love libraries. They smell like dust and paper and ink. All these stories and facts and opinions crowded together in one place makes the air come alive with potential. I'm not sure how to navigate Yamako's library yet, having mostly stuck to books I brought with me, so I searched for the librarian to ask for help. I suppose she's not... Can't believe it. Yuko, looking rather distracted, suddenly emerged from one of the aisles. Excuse me? Oh, can I help you? Actually, I was looking for a book. So am I. Advanced Cryptography. We just got it in, and now it's gone missing. Kenji? I really wants to read that one. Cryptography. Yeah, that is... This guy I knew, not sure how to describe it. Skip to the end. He got me interested in chirography. Only know the book's gone and it's been stolen. Sounds pretty terrible. Yeah, especially because now I have to search the whole library for it, even though it's probably not even here. You seem busy. A little. She dashed off down another aisle and I resigned myself to find my own damn book. Plenty of choices. Kenji stole that book! Oh, come on, how did I get lost? These aren't even printed books, they're all in Braille. I guess it makes sense in a school like this, but honestly it's a little annoying. I'm sorry, is someone there? A lighting voice drifts out from behind one of the cubicles set up for research. As I approach, I see that Lily's been reading a book while I've been stomping about the aisles. Oh no, I should be apologising, I didn't mean to make so much noise. My, is that you, Hisao? I've not heard from you in quite some time. I was beginning to think you've forgotten all about me. Aw, sorry. One day we'll be with you, Lily. Lily laughs in that refined manner of hers and shakes her head. I'm only teasing you, Hisao. For what I hear, you've been busy. Morning runs with Emi Abarasaki and lunch on the rooftop, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, guess word gets around pretty quickly. Fat and I can't coax poor Hanako on the roof anymore. You three are always up there. Claim the spot for yourselves. She chides me gently, but it's pretty clear she's just teasing me again. Still, I feel an odd need to apologize. Sorry, we could eat lunch somewhere else if that's a real problem. Oh no, wouldn't worry about it. Hanako and I have other things to do at lunch too, such as read in the library, as you can see. Oh, Hanako's here too? I didn't see her. Lily smiles a bit enigmatically. Oh, she's around somewhere. But I'm surprised, Hisao. You're in here instead of up there. What brings you to the library? Well, Emmy's ill, so there's no lunch on the rooftop to keep me occupied. Lily raised an eyebrow at my statement before giving another chuckle. My, poor Rin must feel left out. It's not like that. But I'm sure it isn't. Emmy tends to be the life of whatever group she's in. It's a shame to hear she's fallen ill. Will she be okay? Somehow I get the feeling that Lily's just inquiring out politeness, but I respond anyway. The nurse thinks so. I'm going to swing by and see how she's doing after school myself. Another raised eyebrow. My, what a noble gentleman you are, Hisao. It's nothing really, just checking up on my friend after all. Ah, so it's just friends, is it? How disappointing. You've got a big sense of humour on your shoulders, Lily, for goodness sakes. I blush, glad that Lily can't see it. But somehow she knows I've been flushed by a comment anyway and laughs. I'm sorry, Hisao, I'll tease you again. Please do tell Emmy, but I hope she feels better, won't you? I glance at my watch, reveals that I'm very nearly out of time to find my book. Of course. Hey, I've got to find a book before lunch is over, so I better get moving. See you later. That was probably not the best phrase to use. Lily, however, takes my gaffy in stride. Until we meet again, Hisao. Aww. I feel really guilty. Like, Lenny's one of my favourite characters in this game. I never do find the book I was looking for, but I walk out with something else instead. My stomach growls slightly, letting me know that I should have had something for lunch. Oh well, I'll grab something before I visit Emmy later. It seems as if time has decided to slow down for the express purpose of annoying the hell out of me. Classes feel like drags on for ages. It drags on for ages. I suspect that my being consumed with worry probably has something to do with it. Bless the bell rings and I dash out of class, drawing a few raised eyebrows, I'm sure. I've spent the majority of the day fretting as unobtrusively as I could. Even though the nurse thinks that Emmy is perfectly okay, I want to see for myself. It doesn't take long to get to the girls' dormitory and make my way to Emmy's room. Standing outside her door, I suddenly pause. What if she's resting? I hate to wake her up, especially if she's still feeling ill. Then again, if she sleeps all day, then it could throw off her sleeping schedule, but rest is important if you're ill, isn't it? I can't decide what to do, so I set off for standing outside the door, looking like an idiot. Then I hear Emmy's voice from behind the door. Thanks for your concern, but I really am okay. Is she talking to me? I'll see you at practice tomorrow. Guess not. Still, clearly she's not asleep, so I can knock her without worry. So why this clenched feeling in my gut? I wasn't nervous about dropping by the other day, so why today? Granted, I still haven't really had the time to figure out this newfound interest in Emmy's well-being. I don't have a lot of experience in the matter, of course, but certainly this seems to go beyond feelings of mere friendship. But could I take that step? Could I even bring myself to risk what I have right now? I mean, it's enough to be friends with her, isn't it? Either way, shouldn't I just open the door and see how she's doing? That's why I came here, right? Whether she's not dressed yet? The images that flashes through my mind cause my heart to skip a beat. For goodness sakes, man! I should probably not ever think of those thoughts again, not if I want to avoid a heart attack. I suddenly realise I'm still standing in the hallway looking like an idiot. Emmy still seems to be in the middle of a conversation, but I'm not going away. Hopefully she wouldn't mind the interruption. You worried too much? Come in, the door's unlocked. So it is. I open the door and step in, which is about where my thought process comes to a grinding halt. Hi, Emmy is standing up in bed, her hair tousled from a day spent asleep. I think this is the first time I've seen her without those familiar beads in her hair. Her gym shirt and bloomers, obviously hastily pulled on before I came in, are crest and folded from less than proper storage. Oh, dearie me. Oh, her legs lay bare on the sheets. I've never seen Emmy without prosthetics before, yet here she is, slender legs terminating in stumps just below her knees. But as odd as the sight is, I found myself more captivated by everything north of the waist. Great man, it seems that Emmy has finished her conversation with whoever was on the phone with her, and is now watching my reaction closely out of her one open eye as she wipes sleep on the other. Her expression, far from being embarrassed, is rather one of a surprisingly wide yawn, one perhaps appropriate for such a small mouth. A grin that for a brief moment seems almost flirtatiously tugs at the corner of her mouth as she takes the sight of me in. I could do nothing but remain in a state fluctuated between fear, confusion, and not being a little... not a little bit of lust. Amy hastily sweeps her hair out of her eyes, fixing it back into place before addressing me. You seem a bit caught off guard, Hisao. A wave of laugh that erupts from her, and I find myself grinning and rubbing the back of my head ruefully. Sorry, I've just... never seen someone so disheveled look so attractive. Never seen you without your legs on. Never seen you look so... sorry? Emmy giggles again and moves to sit up a little straighter. I'm caught up in a moment of her shirt, very nearly losing myself. I was wondering what your reaction would be. The nurse called and told me you're going to drop by, you see. And I know you haven't seen me, well, you know, without legs. I responded in a tone of casual surprise. Oh, you don't have them on, I didn't notice. This is almost the truth, I very nearly didn't. I'm not trying to be savvy or anything, mind you. Somehow I think Emmy would get offended by that. Instead, she sticks her tongue out at me and jerks a pillow at my head. Ass! I definitely catch a pillow and take careful aim before throwing. Emmy laughs and rolls to one side, dodging my shot. The shifting of her shirt distracted me enough so the next thrown pillow hits me right between the eyes. Oof! I retaliate, of course, and once I've retaliated twice, well, a war bound to break out sooner or later. And really, when Emmy appears to have far better aim than me, well, it was just a matter of time before I have to resort to a suicidal charge. Gotcha! Yep. Bam, schmack, biff. Comic book style. And once the charge was accomplished, well, of course, I'd have to wrestle the pillars away from her. And with that kind of struggle, of course, we wind up in this sort of position. God damn it, man! God damn it, why are we in this kind of position? And so I find myself staring down at her from my position atop her. She's grinning, eyes sparkling with amusement, maybe a little sweaty now from our tussle. Just as even up and down, sucking it, eh? This is the kind of situation that one would get in if, well, you're doing that sort of thing. The small bit of my brain that is not currently interrupted by the sight of the smell of her observes that she must still be ill because her stamina is not what it should be. We stay that way for a while. I'm not sure how long because everything seems to go fuzzy, everything that isn't her anyway. Her eyes meet mine, and deep inside them I almost catch a glimpse of, what, fear? Longing? Hope? Emmy? A cough suddenly convulses her, and I almost stumble in my haste to get off, to apologise for everything. Sorry, I shouldn't have. It's fine, it's fine. Yeah, fine for you, for goodness sakes. She gives me a reassuring pat on the shoulder. So, what brings you here? She's still breathing hard, and that causes her voice to shake slightly. Well, before I was so rudely assaulted by pillows, I came to see how you were doing. Wham! That earns me another shove, and I very nearly fell off her bed. Emmy's eyes sparkling again. I wonder how I never noticed how attractive they are before. Consumed with worry, were you? Her tone is mocking, haughty, teasing. She throws her arm across her forehead dramatically, grins to the parent from underneath. Couldn't bear the thought of me laying deathly ill. As we both recover from our brief wrestling match, Emmy appears to fall back on teasing me. Well, I wouldn't say consumed with worry, but after he didn't show up this morning like a total wuss. Emmy pouts, crossing her arms blatantly and sticking her lower lip out. It's not my fault. Nurse wouldn't allow. Well, why wouldn't the nurse allow it, huh? Why didn't the nurse allow it? Did you not tell him that you were out there yesterday in the pouring rain running, just so he can burn off that cake you ate? Sure, he wouldn't. I completely believe you. Emmy sticks her tongue out again. You're such a jerk, Hisao. So how was your day then? Did you enjoy slacking off? Not really. The phone woke me up pretty early on. The phone? Yeah, the captain of the team called to make sure I was doing okay. Also let me know that it was okay to skip practice. Good, at least she wasn't alone all day. Someone checked up on her. Although I can't help but think that it should have been me. Oh, that's good. He already keeps an eye out for you, huh? Emmy shrugs. It's his job. Part of being the captain means you know where your team members are when they're not in school. So I guess it was nice of him to call, huh? Yep, sure was. Emmy yawns and shivers down into a more comfortable position. So how was your day? Kind of uneventful, you know. I went ahead and ran by myself and talked with the nurse about how you were doing. Aha. I mender through the day's events, none of which are particularly engrossing. That's when I'm distracted by an arm finding its way across my waist. It seems that Emmy fell asleep while I was talking, so I draw her blanket to cover us. Aww. She rolled over onto her side, and now one leg is thrown over my legs, effectively trapping me. Hey. It seems ashamed to wake her, but I have things to do. I gently shake her, but in response she only tightens her arms grip on me and sighs a little. My resistance to this position crumbles rather quickly. The feeling of her body's breathing steadily is both calm and incredibly stimulating at the same time. My breathing can't decide if it wants to relax or speed up. Relaxation wins, and I find myself putting an arm around Emmy. I think I'm in love. The words slip out and hang in the air unnoticed. At least I hope until they've gone unnoticed. Emmy whimpers weakly through her dream, and her grip suddenly tightens again. For the first time since I've known her, I see tears running down Emmy's face. I wonder if she's having a nightmare. Like the nightmare of losing her father again, or something like that. It feels like my heart is about to break. I instinctively tighten my grip and stroke her hair in what hope is a soothing manner. Words of comfort, meanness in the situation, spring to mind. Maybe I should wake her. Are you supposed to wake people having nightmares? I can't for the life of me remember. The decision is taken from me as Amy suddenly jerks awake with a cry. Thought so. This is more than I think I want to hear without her knowing. I quickly sit upright and gently shake her shoulder to steer her. Hey, you okay? What a silly question. Huh? What? Hisao? She shakes her head as if to clear it and quickly wipes her eyes. You had a nightmare, I think. Amy shudders again and glances up at me with a little cautiously, as if unsure whether or not she's actually up. Yeah, I guess so. You want to talk about it? A speedy internal debate seems to be going on in her head, which resolves itself with a shrug. Nah, I don't really remember much of it. I'm pretty sure she's lying to me, but somehow I don't think I should press the issue exactly. Emmy shudders again and turns toward me, looking a little sheepish. Sorry for falling asleep on you like that. I keep my voice as soothing as I can. Hey, don't worry about it. You've been ill. Hey, I guess that cold medicine's just made me a little drowsy. I guess so. Emmy does not strike me as the sort of person who'd fall asleep at a drop of a hat. Rin maybe, but Emmy's far too energetic. Emmy gives a half smile at my response, and then just like that, she's back to her old self. Well, prepare yourself for tomorrow morning, Hisao. We'll have to go twice as hard to make up for today. But I went running this morning. No excuse. Oh, fine, I'll be ready for you. Emmy nods, satisfied. Good. I take this as my cue to exit. Well, I better get going, especially if I want to get enough sleep for tomorrow. I hop off the bed and head for the door. Hey, Hisao? I pivot neatly on my heel and face Emmy. She opens her mouth to say something, and then another first, I see her falter slightly. She closes her mouth and opens it again. Thanks. For dropping by, I mean. You're kind of the first visitor I've ever had who wasn't Rin. Now that's surprising. I would figure Emmy would have people dropping by all the time. She's certainly popular enough, or so I thought. Always talking to people in the hallways. Emmy hesitates again, and thanks for staying around after I... Well, a look of pain flits across her face. You know, it helped. She brightens back up and waves cheerfully at me. See you tomorrow. Yeah, see you later. I'm just about to exit the door when something makes me turn around again. Hey, Emmy? Anytime you need to talk, let me know, okay? Emmy seems taken aback by this offer. Her grin gets even wider. Sure thing, Hisao. See you tomorrow in the morning. I exit Emmy's room with my head in a whirl. I don't understand why I said more than that sentence said, but there we go. I'll see you tomorrow in the morning, where it's just a see you in the morning. Should I even have left? Was she really okay? I would turn around and march back down the hallway, open the door and tell her. Tell her that I love her. Tell her that I think she's beautiful. Tell her that I'll be there when she needs me. I want to stay with her, to hold her close as she falls back to sleep. How many nights has she woken up like that, only to find nobody's there? I want to be that person she can be with when that happens. It's a silly thought, I know. We don't know each other that well, do we? The whole idea, while exhilarating, also makes me feel worried. Worried perhaps, but I'd overstepped my bounds. Now to add to my trouble, it seems as if Emmy herself already has an interest in someone else. This track captain of hers who seems so interested in her well-being. True, I've only seen the two of them together a few times, but that doesn't change the fact that they seem better suited to one another. There's really nothing to be done about that. I need to take my mind off this whole situation. I've got homework to do. Maybe that will distract me. Will it now? Will it actually distract you from the torments of what is love, for goodness sakes? And with that, folks, I think we're coming to a close for today's adventures, which will probably be, oh gosh, a night of restlessness has left me feeling fairly groggy this morning. Well, I'm sorry to hear about that, my man, but these things happen. We do have nights in which we can't sleep in. So thank you all so much for watching, guys, and we shall see each other in the next time of Katawa Shoujo. Thank you all so much for watching. Take care of yourselves.